didn't think to share with you earlier, but I had reason to go over to Mayo's office in Cannon Falls. So I drove from our place, Northfield, over to Cannon Falls. I went past the Gilje farm. Every time I drive by, of course, I take a good hard look at it. And so they did a blood draw on me, and they're highly organized. I was in and out of there in almost no time. I was on my way home, and I thought, I'm going to drive in the driveway. And I hadn't done that, well, you know, it's been a long time since 1968 or whatever it is, and I think I drove in one other time and nobody was home. So I drove in and I knocked on the door, and by golly, this lady opened the door, and I told her who I was and my connection, and she invited me in the house. And then her husband, he was there. They're both retired, and he said, they said that, and they've made some improvements to the place. This couple has lived there since about 1969 or something, and were there last summer. And they were saying we're going to probably retire and move to town or something. So there's perhaps a change in ownership that's maybe already happened or else right around the corner. But they took me into the kitchen, and the old kitchen, Terry we were talking about, is basically removed, and there's a new one that looks laid out about the same as the original one, but it's new construction. And then went into what was the living room, and that looks pretty much the same. I didn't get in around the corner to that small room back there, and I didn't see where I think maybe the bathroom. I think they put a bathroom back in that corner, but I can't remember the whole layout. But obviously, what I would say, the floors aren't completely level. There might be a little bit off for going from one addition to the other. So it's not like new construction, but you can tell that they had a tremendous amount of pride in the place, and they loved the place, and they put their hearts into it. They've also, the hedge is gone that we talked about, and that gate that we used to walk through. And of course, that willow tree is long gone, but they still have a drive around, and the milk house is still there, the pump house. The barn is long gone, but the garage or that shed over there is still there, and it looks amazing for being well over, I suppose, over 100 years old, quite a bit. And so they have a lot of pride in the place, and I thought it looked good, and I told them I thought they'd done a good job there. They've been the sole owners since the place was sold until either now or at least last year. And I don't know exactly what happened. I haven't been good on staying on top of listings or anything. Presumably they were thinking of listing at any rate, and I don't know what's happened on that. But that's the latest I know about it, and I was happy to have a chance to take a look at the place because, as I said, I know Chris and Karina had a lot of pride in it. It was really home for many of us felt at home when we were there, and these folks did too. So that's the latest update on what I know about that.
Has the snipe population improved?
Oh, God.
I remember going there in the evenings, and Ken and Chris would take me out snipe hunting. I never got one.
Oh.